बिहारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीर बनचारी यमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीर बनचारी यमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय दीन सुत हो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य श्री राधा कृष्ण भो गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय नवदीप धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय जमुना माई की जय द्वारका धाम की जय स्वामी भक्तवृंद की जय ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द थैंक यू वेरी मच
Gojumenityanand Mahajan Nadia Gojumenityanand Mahajan Hatya Chinam Hat Jibera Karan Hatya Chinam Hat Jibera Karan श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है श्रद्धावान जन है प्रभु आगाए बाय मागिए भिखा प्रभु आगाए बाय मागिए भिखा Krishna Bhajo Krishna Koro Krishna Shika Bolo Krishna Bhajo Krishna Koro Krishna Shika Aparara Shunna Hoy Loho Krishna Naam Aparara Shunna Hoy Loho Krishna Naam Krishna Mato Krishna Pito Krishna Dana Pran Krishna Mato Krishna Pito Krishna Dana Pran Krishna Samsara Koro Charyana Cham Krishna Samsara Koro Charyana Cham Vivedaya Krishna Nam Sarva Dharmasam Vivedaya Krishna Nam Sarva Dharmasam Shadhavan Jana Hai Shadhavan Jana Hai Shadhavan Jana Hai Shadhavan Jana Hai Nadiya Gojume Nityananda Mahajan Nadiya Gojume Nityananda Mahajan Katya Chenam Hate Jibera Karan Katya Chenam Hate Jibera Karan Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada. And all glories to the assembled Vaishnavi devotees. Devotees, we thank you for being here. Today is a special day. It's the appearance day of Jagat Guru Param Guru A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Mishra Prabhupada. And we are blessed. We have His Grace Ishwara Prabhu, who will be sharing with us about who this great person is in the lives of devotees and to the world in general. So Prabhuji, you're very much welcome. And with that being said, you may start speaking. Hare Krishna.
I mean, devotees coming?
Yes, I actually sent you a message in the chat room there, but seems you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I saw the message.
Yeah. So, yeah, we expect the devotees to be joining in later, or anytime from now.
Because I got a, actually, we're having a very big function today. I'm currently.
Okay. So, give us whatever sufficient time that might work for you with us here, so you may be able to take care of the other function as well.
Well, the other very funny because now it's 8:30 now, so we're not morning time like you.
Yeah.
So it's already 8:30 p.m.
Yeah.
I was expecting that maybe more devotees will be here tonight, but just 3 and 2.
Yeah.
Typical of this platform. So I just begin the prayer and hopefully some devotees will come in. Gurave Gurachandaya, Ratikaya Tadalaya, Krishnaya, Krishna Bhaktaya, Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Vistaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamina Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine. Nivise Sasunjavadi Paschata Desatarine. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Siva Sudi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare. We are seeing some devotees. So today, first of all, I welcome everyone here on the Hare Krishna African Forum. And I am currently in Eastern Mumbai, Jew Mumbai. It's basically the headquarters of ISKCON India. So Prabhupada call it my office. This is his office. And we have the biggest function we have here. The ISKCON Jew is a very massive temple, big temple. And yesterday, for the Janmashtami celebration, we have about 1 million people coming to the temple. So about 1 million people were in the temple all day long till up till like 1 to 2 p.m., 2 a.m. in the morning this morning. And then, of course, for Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, the appearance day of Srila Prabhupada, is a very, very big function. At least not less than 10,000 people were there this morning for Prabhupada's this Vyasa Puja. It's a very, very big function. Many sannyasi were there. His Holiness Radhanath Swami was also there. Madhuti Swami. So many senior devotees were there. I was also fortunate to be able to speak also. So, Srila Prabhupada, great personality, of course. It's called a Senapati Bhakta. Senapati means the general, the commander-in-chief, the commander-in-chief of the army of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had predicted that Prithviche Achanagradi Gram Savata Morabe Moranam, that in every town and village, my holy name will be heard in every town and village. And also it was predicted also in the scripture that my devotee will come in the future who will take up this chanting of the holy name all over the world. And in 1922, that time, Srila Prabhupada, he was just a young man, and he and his friend, they had visited the temple in Uttadanga, which was the ashram of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. So that time Prabhupada was like 26 years old, because he was born in 1896. So it was only 22 when he and his friend, his friend just invited him to say, oh, there's a very nice, a great shadow. Let us go and see him. So it's like, Prabhupada, okay. And then they went to see Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. And when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta saw Prabhupada, the first word he said that you all educated young men, you should take this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the English-speaking world. Take this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the English-speaking world. And that time, then Srila Prabhupada had some argument with his Guru Maharaj that, well, because that time India was under colony of British, was being ruled by the British that time. So Prabhupada was saying that we are being subjugated by the colonists, by Britishers. We are not independent nation. So who's going to hear our message? Who's going to hear this message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So he posed this argument to his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta replied that, what is this so-called independence? That the mission of Mahaprabhu does not wait for any material circumstance. That the living entity is always, it's never independent. It's so-called independent, just illusion. What is this so-called independence that you live and then you have to take, you grow up, you grow old, and then what is that? Jara, youth, childhood, youth, the old age and death, and then you get another body. So transmigration in the material world. So what is this so-called independence? When the living entity is always under the clutches of Maya. So what is so-called independence is just aspect of illusion. Whereas Mahaprabhu's mission does not need to wait for that. So that time, Srila Prabhupada said that he was convinced by his Guru Maharaj. And then, of course, it took him. So from that time on, he began to associate with his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. Ultimately, he was initiated in 1932. And then when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, in 1936, December 1936, so that time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was working with Srila Prabhupada. He was in Radhakund, in Vrindavan, Radhakund. At that time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was expressing to Srila Prabhupada that you must produce English books. Whatever money, if you have money, you should print book. You should print book, you should write scripture, translate Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatams, and the teachings of the Goswamis, which is the wealth of the Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So, and then Srila Prabhupada, so they took it as his mission that yes, this order of Guru Maharaj must be carried out. And in 1944, he began to write Back to God magazine. So the Back to God magazine began in 1944, and that time Srila Prabhupada will compose, he will write the essay himself, and then based on the teachings of the Gaudiya Acharyas, and then he will take it, he will get it printed, and he will distribute it himself in many in Delhi. He had them distributed himself in Delhi. So this is just some preamble of who Prabhupada is, because tonight I'll be talking about Srila Prabhupada, and also in reference to specific reference to Africa, in terms of how Prabhupada came to Africa and how the African mission started. So there was the composition of some acharyas, some compositions. Some poems. Yan Kalirupa Sarirana Dharata, Tambroja Prima Mahanidi Kutrika Kan Kapata Urgata. So this is in reference to Srila Rupa Goswami, that if Srila Rupa Goswami had not appeared in this world, in Kali Yuga, who would have opened the great storehouse of Brajapin, the great storehouse of love of God, and distributed its contents freely to everyone. References Srila Rupa Goswami, if he had not appeared, who will have known anything about these confidential teachings of loving service to Krishna? And then there's another composition also in the similar pattern. One of Chaitanya Prabhu's associates, Basugos. So he also composed a kind of a similar poem. Yadi Gora Nohito Tabiki Ohito Kemone Dorito de Radarama Ima Pemara Sasima Jagate Janaka Madura Brinda Bipina Maduri Pavisa Chaduri Saran Baraja Yubati Babera Bakati Sakati Oitakoro Gao Gao Puna Gorangira Guna Sarala Haviyamona He Baba Sagare Manadayala Madeki Kajana Goranga Baliyana Nageno Galia Kimona Darinonde Devasuya Pashane Dia Kimane Kadiyachi. So it said that if Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Gora, had not appeared in this age, has not appeared as Yuga Avatar in this age of Kali, then what would have become of us? How could we have tolerated living? Who in this universe will have ever learned about the topmost limits of loving mellows that comprise the glory of Sri Radharani? Who will have had the power to render ecstatic devotional service that follows in the footsteps of the damsels of Braja? Indeed, the clever expertise of the Braja Gopis is a prerequisite for entering the supreme sweet forest of Vrinda Devi. Oh, please sing again and again of the glorious qualities of Lord Gauranga. Just try to keep your heart simple, not even one person within this ocean of nations has ever seen such magnanimous personality as he. Even though I chant the holy name of Lord Goranga, somehow I still have not melted in ecstasy. How then have I maintained the burden of this body? How has the Creator fashioned this body with a stone in place of Vasudev Ghos's heart? So one of the great associates of Mahaprabhu composed this prayer that if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya, had not appeared in this Kali Yuga, it's Krishna himself who appeared in Kali Yuga as a Yuga avatar. If he had not appeared, what would have come of us? Similarly, in the same line also, there's a composition made for Prabhupada that if Srila Prabhupada had not appeared, if he had not appeared, especially if he had not made his appearance in this age, what will have come of us? What will have become of us? How could we have known what is the essence of God realization? How could we have known, especially we who belong to the Western world outside of India? What could have become of us? If Prabhupada had not come, he had not made the appearance. Because he's the one that made this thing possible. We know that many of us, it's not that before Prabhupada came, it's not that there's no religion in the West. There are religions there. Christianity in the West, in Africa, we have Islamic religion, all those things. But we all know many of us who came from various, religious backgrounds and all that. We were not satisfied. We were searching. We were not satisfied with what we were getting from our particular denomination that we belong to. So we were searching. We had so many questions that we were all asking in terms of why am I here? Who is God? And other many questions which we will all be asking ourselves. But we could not get any particular answer. We could not get it. We were not satisfied. So therefore, we began to dabble in different so-called spirituality, become dabbling in it. So ultimately, that great personality came with his books, his wonderful literatures, and then we began to find the answer. So that great personality, of course, is Srila Prabhupada. So if Srila Prabhupada had not come, what could have become of us? How could we have gotten the meaning of who is God? What is God? Our idea of God previously was just some vague idea of God is there. Okay, God is great. And he's there in the sky somewhere. He's there, he's judging you for what you do. He's there judging you. If you do good, you will go to heaven. And if you do bad, you will go to hell. And he's here, God's only business is simply to judge you. So he's just busy himself, sit in one place, and the moment you die, he's going to judge, okay, you do good, you commit good activities, okay, you're going to go to heaven, you enjoy yourself forever. And if you commit sinful activity, you're going to go to hell, and then you will burn in hell forever. That is the idea of God. So obviously, for a serious student of theology will not really be satisfied with that kind of idea of God. And especially when we see so many unfairness that is going on in the world, so many inequality that's going on in the world. Some people are suffering and some are enjoying. There's so much imbalance in the world. So we begin to ask ourselves, why so much suffering in the world? Why somebody have everything, another person don't have anything? And what kind of God is this? If there's actually a God, what kind of God is this? So therefore, we begin to be asking all these questions, which we never found the answer. And the Prabhupada came and introduced Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, who is all attractive, who is eternal, blissful, eternally full of knowledge and full of bliss, and is the possessor of 6 opulences. The possessor of 6 opulences. And God has his characteristics that we living entities, we're also part of him. We have the same identical characteristics. We are eternal, we are full of knowledge and full of bliss, but in a minute way. But that only comes, that can be understood only when there's what we call self-realization. And we can actually have a relationship with God. And God is not, it's not that it's such a person who's sitting somewhere in the higher place, higher planet, and simply judging what you do. No, that's not God. God is full of enjoyment. God is full of bliss. He has got his planet is a spiritual, whereby as eternal devotees, they are having relationship, different kind of relationship with him. A friend of him, or lovers, conjugal, different relationship which where any person can have. You can actually dance with God. You can, you can be a friend with, and God is a person that you can have a direct relationship with. This kind of knowledge you will not find anywhere else. You will not find anywhere in any of the contemporary religion. It's not there. But it's Prabhupada came and gave us, it's actually brought in the essence of Vedic culture to us. Yes, before Prabhupada came to the West, previously there were Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita was there before Prabhupada came. There were many Gita translations, so many of them, but not a single one of them able to make a single devotee of Krishna, because they're all impersonal. Like when Prabhupada, when he first arrived in America, one lady asked him that, Swamiji, is there any, can you recommend to me any Bhagavad Gita? This was before he wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is. Can you recommend to me any Bhagavad Gita that I can read? Prabhupada said, no, there's no one I can recommend to you. And then he wrote the translator wrote the Bhagavad Gita as it is. So if Srila Prabhupada had not come to this world, how could we have understood, how could we have got this knowledge? How could we have understood what is devotional service? So Srila Prabhupada is a very, very dear devotee of Lord Krishna. They call it a very dear devotee. And Prabhupada was an eternally liberated person. He was not a conditioned soul. An eternally liberated person is a direct associate of Lord Krishna. So yesterday, up to midnight, last night, we celebrated Janmashtami. So we celebrated Janmashtami when Lord Krishna made his appearance. And Lord Krishna, and then today is what we call Nandotsava, whereby the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they're having a very big celebration of a son who just appeared in the house of Nanda Maharaj. So Nanda Maharaj, he put up a very big festival. He celebrated a very big festival. It's called Nandotsava. Utsava means the festival. So he organized a very, very big festival. So whereby all the Brijabasis, the also big celebration. A lot of beautiful songs and big celebration and big festival. And then, and because whenever Krishna comes, it's always with his devotees. Krishna is never alone. So yesterday Krishna came, last night Janmashtami, and then today there's Nandotsava, and then Krishna's very dear devotee appear, Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada appear on Nandotsava on the day of the celebration of the festival of Nanda Maharaj. So therefore, it's a very big celebration for the devotees. And yes, we are celebrating the appearance of Krishna. The very next morning, we are celebrating the appearance of Krishna's very dear devotee, Srila Prabhupada. So we can just estimate, which means we can see how fortunate we are that we have actually come in contact with the mission of this great person. So Srila Prabhupada, he got his mission from his Guru Maharaj that yes, you have to preach this mission of Krishna consciousness outside of India. And so for a period of at least, let's say 25 years, Srila Prabhupada was preparing himself for this mission. He was preparing himself. And in 1965, that time Srila Prabhupada was already old. He was 69 years old. And then before he embarked on the journey from India to come to the West, so he was in Bombay, and the Prabhupada, then he approached a very pious lady who owned a steamship company, a shipping company. And Prabhupada approached this lady that he want to go to America to preach the message of Lord Krishna, to preach the message of Krishna consciousness. So the lady first replied to Prabhupada that, how are you going to go to America? America is, you are too old. America is a very cold place. You are very, very old man. How are you going to go there? So Srila Prabhupada said, no, I have to go because I have a mission to fulfill. So the Sumati Maharaj, that's her name. So Ada she gave Prabhupada the permission to go to America on a shipping line. And then the journey began. So Prabhupada, it was August 25 actually, when Prabhupada began the journey to go from India to America on the ship. And then as the shipping was going, it was like a very difficult ride. It was a very difficult ride from the Bay of Bengal to Indian Ocean and then to the Arabian Sea and all that. Then to the Arabian Sea, then the Red Sea. So when Prabhupada was going on the ship, 2 times, he had a heart attack 2 times. Within a span of a week, he had a heart attack. Because he was old, he was 69 years old. So he had a heart attack. So, and Prabhupada was saying that if he had had a 3rd one, he would have, leave his body. And then as the shipping was going, when he recovered a little bit, so when Prabhupada was going, and then when the ship reached Egypt, Port Said in Egypt, near Suez Canal, so Prabhupada was thinking that I already have a heart attack. If I should have the 3rd one, then I may not live. So he was thinking of going back to India. He was telling the captain, he told the captain that I will go back to India. I'm going to go to the embassy in Cairo, and then from there, I will go back to India. So Prabhupada was telling the captain of the ship. But the captain told him that, well, Swamiji, you already come this far. And the captain was saying that from here, our journey is going to be little better than before. And in fact, since you have a mission, you are going on a mission, so you must well stay in the ship and so that you can execute your mission. So, and then Prabhupada decided not to. So he decided not to go back to India and continue the journey. And ultimately, he arrived in New York. He arrived in New York. And when Prabhupada came, normally when people want to establish a spiritual mission, a religious organization, normally people are prepared, they have organization behind them, they have a lot of funding behind them. The funding is the organization is there behind them. But Prabhupada had nothing. He had no one. When he was leaving India, he had some boxes of books. He had translated of his first 3 volumes of Bhagavatam, which he had translated. So he was traveling with this box of books. Apart from that, he had only like 40 rupees. 40 rupees, which at that time was like $4 at that time. It was like, 40 rupees was like $4 at that time. So, and that's what he had in his pocket. So he had no money because the mission of his Guru Maharaj, the Gaudiya Maharaj, they will not, when Prabhupada told him that he wants to go to America to start the Krishna Consciousness mission, they simply laugh at him. So that, what are you going to do? Especially, Prabhupada was never like a member of the mission. He was never like, he was a Grihastha until later on, when he took sannyas when he was age of 64 when he took sannyas. Otherwise, he was a Grihastha. So he was never like a member of the mission who stayed in the temple. So, which means his god brothers never take him serious, because they simply saw him as a Babu, as a Grihastha. It's like a congregational devotee who simply was coming to the temple. That is the way they saw Prabhupada. They never see him as a very advanced spiritualist, because they just seen us, a devotee of our god brother, devotee, like that. So they never take him serious. So when Prabhupada proposed to them that I want to go to America, they simply told him that, oh, why don't you come and live in the ashram for some time, and then we can decide who we can send to the West. We can decide. This is what they told him. So Prabhupada could see that, oh, my god brother, they're not serious. So and then he left on his own. So then he arrived in America. He arrived in New York. So now when Prabhupada arrived in New York, 1965, he arrived. This was September. It was September 13 or something like that when he arrived in New York City. And the Prabhupada composed some prayers. He wrote some prayers. He wrote some Bengali prayers. So I'm just going to read the prayers. So I just sing it, and then I will read the English translation. Oro kripa kole Krishna, adami prati, kilagiye nila heta, koro ebe gati, ache kichuka jatabo anumane. Nakeno anibe ugrastane, Rajasta mogo nera sabaya chana. Basude kataruchi na ese prasana. Tabe jade taba kripa ohiyawa ituki. Sakala isam baba itumi sekotuki. Ibabe boja letara boje sei rason. Itakipa koro Prabhu, koro nijabasa, tumara ichaya sabhava, oi maya basa. Tumara ichaya nasava, mayara parasam. Tabai chao ijadi tadira uda. Buji beni chai tobi kata setoma. Bhagavate kata shei tabhavata. Dirai yasune jadi koni babo. Rajastamo tobi pai banista. Hridaya hai bhadra sabe guchi betaha. Kikore boja bokato paro se chai. Kudami dina ina kono sakti na e. Ata chaye ne cho Prabhu kota koli boli bari. Jito mara icha Prabhu kuro i bari. Akila jaga guru bachani seyamo. Alankita kori ba kimata toma. Di kripa hole mo kata suda hobi. Suniya sabara soka duka jegu chibe. Aniya choja di Prabhu na rina chati. Na chao Prabhu na chao se mate. Kastera putali jata na chao se mate. Bhakti na ibeda na ye na me kudaro. Bhakti Vedanta nam ebe sataka koro. So this song that Prabhupada composed when he arrived in New York in 1965. He wrote these prayers just after he got off the Jaladuta ship. So he said, "My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with me." This is someone who's in the mood of deep surrender to Krishna. My dear Krishna, I do not know why you have brought me here. Papa was an old man, 69 years old, very old. He was penniless, coming to a completely strange country. And he went there, he had no acquaintances. He didn't know anybody. You know, he only went to America on the invitation of one Indian person who was living in America, and he had the American wife. So, and this person, he will help so many Indian sadhus who want to visit America. It doesn't matter, they don't have to be anybody, any Indian sadhu. So this person happened to be an acquaintance of Prabhupada in Vrindavan, and the Prabhupada requested him that he want to come to America. So then he gave Prabhupada an invitation to come to America. But just an acquaintance, it wasn't like anything like that. So Prabhupada went to a place, America, the most materialistic countries in the whole world, in the whole planet. The whole materialistic, the entire materialistic country, can just imagine what it is. Just like many of us, when we first went to America, basically we came from Africa, we first to America, it's like, it's like a completely mind-boggling, totally mind-boggling. You all know, all of you were in America. The first time you did is like, wow, 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 like that. So Prabhupada entered this place, especially New York City, the most materialistic city in the whole world, New York City. Somebody, and an old man, for that matter. So now, the Prophet said, but I guess you have some business here, Prabhupada is telling Krishna. But I guess you have some business here. Otherwise, why will you bring me to this terrible place? So he said, why will you bring me to this terrible place? So Prabhupada was not enamored by the opulence, by the grandeur of the West of America. He wasn't enamored by the grandeur of the West. No. He just said, why will you bring me to this terrible place? Then he said, most of the population here is covered by the material modes of ignorance and passion, absorbed in material life. They think themselves very happy and satisfied, and therefore they have no taste for the transcendental message of Krishna, Vasudeva. So therefore, I do not know how they'll be able to understand it. So Prabhupada is saying, everyone here is so absorbed in the mode of passion and ignorance, Roger and Thomas. So how can they understand this transcendental message? Seeing the observing how people are just also wondering, observe materialistic life, just pursuing the object of sense gratification. That's all they are doing, object. So the transcendental message, which is completely opposite of materialistic life, how can people understand? Then he said, but I know your costless mercy can make everything possible because you are the most expert mystic. So Prabhupada is not telling Krishna that, yeah, you are the most expert mystic. And your costless mercy can make impossible possible. And then he said, how will they be able to understand the melodies of devotional service? Oh Lord, I am simply praying for your mercy so that I'll be able to convince them about your message. Because Prabhupada was completely surrendered himself to Krishna. He said, Krishna, you have brought me here, so you have a purpose in bringing me here. All living entities have come under the control of the illusory energy by your will, and therefore, if you like, by your will, they can also be released from the clutches of illusion. This is true. We are here under the clutches of Maya. Everything's going on according to the supreme will of Krishna. So therefore, if we desire it, then the Lord can also bestow his mercy upon us. Then I wish that you may deliver them. Therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. If you so desire. So Prabhupada didn't come across that, oh, he's a great philosopher, great scholar, great Vedic scholar. So therefore, he's here to prove, he's here to teach the people. He's, like the world, he's such a great learned person. But he's saying that, my dear Lord, only if you desire, these people can be delivered. And then he said, the words of Srimad Bhagavatam are your incarnation. And if a sober person repeatedly receives it with submissive oral reception, then he'll be able to understand your message. And then there is the Bhagavatam verse with proper quoted, which is inserted within this prayer. I just keep the Bhagavatam verse. He will become liberated from the influence of the modes of ignorance and passion, and thus all inauspicious things accumulated in the core of the heart. Accumulated in the core of the heart will disappear. Maybe I should just read the Bhagavatam verse. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam 1:17 to 21. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma Super Soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his message, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental song, is established as an irrevocable fact. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effect of nature's mode of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness, and he becomes completely happy. Thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Thus, the knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive actions is terminated when one sees the self as matter. Very beautiful Bhagavatam sloka. And then Prabhupada continue, he said, how will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I'm very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or failure as you like. O spiritual master of the whole world, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will certainly feel engladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. Oh Lord, I'm just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance, make me dance. Oh Lord, make me dance as you like. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhaktivedanta. And now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purpose of Bhaktivedanta. So we can just, this always been my favorite prayer, bhajan, which was composed by Srila Prabhupada. Somebody who is completely surrendered to Krishna. So you arrive in the West, you arrive in America. And when somebody asks him that, oh, Swamiji, what is your impression of America? What is your impression? You know, the garbage is so big. They ask him, what is your impression of America? Prabhupada said, I've simply come here to reveal the spiritual word. I have no attraction, I have no infatuation for America. I'm simply bring with me the message of the spiritual world to hear. That's why I'm here, not for another purpose. So in this way, the Prabhupada began the Krishna consciousness. That the first year was actually very difficult, because the first year Prabhupada was simply going straight. He would go in a big New York City. He would go on the street, trying to talk to people, and of course, and then the Prabhupada, because of his small stature, people will sometimes they will just look at him as like something like a magician who had just come from India, like that. But Prabhupada, as Prabhupada say later on, just to cut the story short, so eventually, ISKCON was established after 1 year in America. ISKCON was established in 1966 when some young men they become attracted to Prabhupada. As a matter of fact, the very first person that Prabhupada stayed with in New York happened to be a black person. I forgot his name. It was actually a black person who was married to a white woman in New York City. But because Prabhupada had no place to stay, but so this person, this devotee, his name was Kalapatidas, that was his name. He was initiated. So he was the first person that Prabhupada stayed with. This was actually before the establishment of ISKCON. So Prabhupada stayed with this couple, this person, Carl Jagans, he was his name, Carl Jagans. And so for about 3 months, Prabhupada was staying there. But after some time, the wife, she became very uncomfortable that, we cannot continue having this all Indian men stay in our house. So she became uncomfortable. So ultimately, Prabhupada left the place. And then eventually, some young men became interested, and then after, so this was actually the time of the hippie. This is what like the height of the hippie revolution in America. The time of the hippie revolution, when all the young boys and girls, the youths, when they became disenfranchised with the American culture, with the materialism of their parents, they're looking for alternative lifestyle. So they were simply taking drugs, LSD, and all that, looking for the alternative lifestyle. So this was a time when Prabhupada arrived in America. So all the hippies, they became attracted to Prabhupada. And then the first devotees, that's how the ISKCON was established. And then when Prabhupada found the few young men who are very, very much interested, and Prabhupada said that, okay, let us start a society. Let us start a society. And then, as Prabhupada was getting more and more audience, the Prabhupada was lecturing every day. And then, so Prabhupada said, we're going to start an international society. And then there was a suggestion that, okay, we're going to, they are debating what they will call the society, what they call the society. So some suggest that, and they are saying that, okay, we're going to call it the International Society for God Consciousness. No, Prabhupada said no, because God has a name. He said, we're going to call it International Society for Krishna Consciousness. ISKCON, and they call it ISKCON. That's how the ISKCON was registered in July. In July of 1966, that's when ISKCON was registered. And then from there, things began. So it was like, so some of you who might have read the biographies, the Lilamrita, if you haven't read it, you should definitely read it. You should read there are 6 volumes of biography. You should definitely read it. And also there are other biography written by many other devotees. Many of the senior devotees, they follow writing biography, like Shamasundar Prabhu, Achitananda Prabhu, Mukunda Maharaj, so many, Brahmananda, Gagamani Prabhu, before the writing, the biographies. And then there's some of the proper servants who became proper servants later on. who are traveling with Prabhupada. So they also write in so many diaries, by which we should all take our time to read them. We can learn a lot if you read those biography. So now, how ISKCON came to Africa? Because Prabhupada's mission is for the whole world, not just mission of America or Europe. It was actually for the whole world. So it was in 1971, but towards the end of 71, that Prabhupada sent his disciple, Brahmananda Swami, that time. He sent him to Kenya to go, and he sent him to Kenya to go to Africa to preach, to go and to take Krishna consciousness to Africa. So when devotee, so Brahmananda Maharaj that time was a Swami, so he came to Kenya, and then they went by boat from Bombay to Mombasa, because Bombay to Mombasa is not too far away by boat. So they went by boat, so they arrived in Mombasa. So about 2 devotees went. And when they reached Mombasa, and then, because they already gained ground in India already, some Indians they already used to see the devotees. So when they arrived in Mombasa, they were welcome to stay with some Hindu devotees, from Hindu families. So when they were there, because they've heard some stories about Africa, that maybe people may be barbarian or something like that. That maybe people, they may be cannibalistic. So when they arrived in Africa, in Kenya, they were not preaching to the Africans, because they were afraid that if they start to preach to the Africans, they may attack them and kill them and eat them. So they were not preaching to African. And then, so then in 1972, Srila Prabhupada went there. Srila Prabhupada went to he went to Kenya. So I think they were in Nairobi. So, and then when Prabhupada came, so a program was devoted, they organized program for Prabhupada. But when program was organized, it was all Indians. It was like it was a big hall. So it was all Indian. So Prabhupada became kind of angry. He said that Prabhupada said that I did not come here to preach to Indians. If I have to preach to India, I stay in India. I come to Africa. I didn't come here to, why you organizing a program for me to preach to the Indians? I came here to preach to the Africans, not to the Indians. So therefore Prabhupada said, no, I'm not going to preach to the Indians. I came here to preach to the Africans. So the next morning, the next day, one second. So the next day, devotees organized a program at the University of Nairobi. The University of Kenya, Nairobi. So they organized it was in a big hall, and then Prabhupada actually initiated the preaching of African preaching in the University of Nairobi. So Prabhupada himself, just as he initiated preaching, he started preaching in America. He started it himself. Similarly, also, he came to Africa. Even though his disciples had come, they were not preaching to the Africans. But Prabhupada himself came, and he actually initiated the preaching to the Africans. He started preaching himself. And it was a big hall, and the hall was filled, and the Prabhupada gave a very, very wonderful lecture. That lecture is there in the database. You can see, you can see that, you can read it, that lecture that Prabhupada gave. So Prabhupada came there a couple of times. He came to Kenya about 2 or 3 times. He went to Kenya. So the preaching was going in Africa for a few years, and it was mostly concentrated in East Africa and also South Africa. So South Africa and then the East Africa. That's where the preaching was. East Africa means Kenya. So for a long time, it was going. But it so happened that when the preaching was going on, they were not having so much success in preaching in the East Africa. They were not having so much success. They will get some people to join, but they never stay. They never stay. They join after some time, and then after some time, then they leave. So there was a conversation one time in that it was 1975. So in 1975, like Prabhupada was he was having a morning walk with some disciples. That time, I think it was Hridayananda Maharaj, Harikrishna Maharaj, and some few devotees. So they were having a conversation. And in that conversation, they started talking about West Africa. Especially they were specifically talking about Nigeria. So some devotee were telling people that, Nigeria people, we've heard about Nigeria that they are very, very religious there. That people in Nigeria, they're very, very religious and all that. They're very, very, intellectual, religious people. So in this conversation, they were having a Prabhupada that, the Nigerians are very, very, people they are very, very, religiously minded. So, and then Prabhupada, they actually developed an interest. He developed an interest about preaching in West Africa. And then so one time, Brahmananda Prabhu, Maharaj at that time, he told Prabhupada about the difficulty of preaching in East Africa, and especially how they make so many devotees that the devotees never stay. They don't stay. They come and go. After a few months, or they just come and go. So Brahmananda, he asked Prabhupada. So and the Prabhupada told him that you should go deeper into Africa. Don't limit yourself and go deeper into Africa. Go deeper into Africa. So Prabhupada told him that. And then Brahmananda told Prabhupada that, okay, I'm going to go to Nigeria. And then Prabhupada, he wrote some letters to some Indian businessmen in Lagos to want to Chanrai. That time there was Chanrai. I don't know if Chanrai is still in Nigeria or not. Chanrai and some 3 or 4 Indian industrialists who had factories in Nigeria. I remember Chanrai. So because I used to live in Lagos. So I remember Chanrai very well, very big company. So Prabhupada wrote him that letter. I used to see that letter in the database, the letter that Prabhupada wrote to Chanrai. And in that letter, Prabhupada mentioned that I am sending my disciple to Lagos. I'm requesting you to give him the facility. I'm requesting to give you the facility so that he can preach the mission of Sri Chaitanya Prabhu to the Nigerian people. And then and of course, like Prabhupada left at the end of 77. So actually Prabhupada will have gone to Nigeria. He will have come there to West Africa, will have come there if Prabhupada stayed much longer. Because so in 1977, that Brahmananda Maharaj is sent to devotees to Lagos to distribute book. And these 2 devotees were Jalakara Prabhu and Shamala Prabhu. Shamala Prabhu, Jalakara is American devotees, but he was living in England at that time. And Shamala was Indian devotee, but he was living in South Africa. So Brahmananda Prabhu has sent these 2 devotees. They are sending with books to Lagos to go distribute book and also to make some life members, because Nigeria was very, very rich that time. So to make some life members, which they did, so they came to Lagos and then they were distributing books. They were placing books in the libraries, in the school library, University of Lagos, that time. Of course, I got my first book from the library myself, from the University of Lagos. And then, so they came around the October of 1977. That's when they came to Nigeria. You can read their article is there. You can Google it. And then so 1978. Then when they went back to India, and then 1978 this was when Brahmananda Maharaj that time. Then he came to Lagos. He decided to come to Lagos fully, and then the preaching began. He started the preaching, and that time some of us started coming around. Chandrasekhar Prabhu was also there, was also coming around. Chandrasekhar Mahamantra was in America now. And some early devotees, I think they've all gone. So anyway, that's how the movement began, and then eventually, ultimately, His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj. So he came in 1979 after he took sannyas. Then he came, and then from there the mission took off that one. But Prabhupada's heart was very, very big. It was big heart. Now, his contact with African devotee, I remember this as recorded in the Transcendental Diary of Harisari Prabhu. When Prabhupada was in France in I think it was 1975. Yeah, so Prabhupada was in France in 1975. And then there was one Ivorian fellow. I think he had become a devotee, one Ivorian from Ivory Coast. So he had become devotee in France, in Paris, and then he met Prabhupada. So he met Prabhupada, and then he was this devotee. He had become a devotee himself, and then he was telling Prabhupada that he wanted to go to Ivory Coast to go and preach. But Prabhupada told him that Prabhupada was not into it. Prabhupada wanted to be trained up. That no, therefore you have to understand this philosophy of Krishna consciousness very well, and you have to understand the philosophy. You have to get trained up. But it's some kind of this fellow was kind of like arguing with Prabhupada basically how he should go now. He said, I want to go now. The Prabhupada said, no, don't go. Instead of be trained up, stay and get trained up. But he kept arguing with Prabhupada how he want to go. The Prabhupada said, no, stay. And then he said, oh, Prabhupada, I'm familiar with the president or something there. I have some relationship with the president of Ivory Coast. So, and the Prabhupada said, okay, you can go. Okay, you can go. Because this fellow Prabhupada know that, he's very, very bent on what he wants to do. So Prabhupada said, okay, you can go. I know that. Now, I don't know if this fellow, if he stayed, because I was asking Harisari Prabhu some years ago, that what happened to this fellow? Because he was in his book, the Transcendental Diary. He said that I think he just disappeared or something like that. So that was like the closest of West African devotee with Prabhupada was this fellow who was from Ivory Coast. And of course, in East Africa, there are some few direct African devotees who were initiated by Prabhupada. In Kenya, some few Kenyans. But when I went to Kenya myself I first went to Kenya in 1982. Then I went again in 1996. But I never see none of these devotees. I never see a single one. Because as I said before, in East Africa, ISKCON has always been having a problem in making devotees who stay. It wasn't until the movement came to West Africa that everything became like a big thing. Only when the movement came to West Africa that the ISKCON West African devotees black body devotees, African devotees actually start becoming thing. Because like it became like a big thing. Otherwise, before that, I was difficult. Even in America itself, in US itself, there's only very, very few amount of black body devotees, even in US. Like when I was discussing with what's his name? The Sikimate Prabhu, a good friend. He was telling me that even in America, you only see maybe maximum, maybe 30 devotees who are Prabhupada disciples in America, 30 devotees. But it was when the movement came to West Africa, when Prabhupada movement came to West Africa, that's when things became different. Now we have hundreds and thousands of devotees from West Africa who actually constitute the black body devotees in ISKCON today. So anyway, so we are all very, very fortunate, our great fortune that we came by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, and we came to this moment. So it was Prabhupada's desire, it's Prabhupada's own desire. Was his heart desire, that the whole world be saturated with Krishna consciousness. It was his desire. And that desire manifests everywhere. So today, you can go anywhere in the world today, you will find Krishna consciousness. Anywhere you go, you can find Krishna consciousness. And of course, we cannot separate Prabhupada from his a very, very dear servant, that even without them, many of us will be nowhere. So we have somebody, a great personality like His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj, who had a vision, who had a dream of Africans coming to the door. He had that dream. And then from that dream, we saw so many Africans. The door was open, many are coming. So many are coming. And then from that door, so Prabhupada revealed that thing that, yes, you go to Africa, and then you can fulfill my mission there. So in this way, we got fortunate as His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj came. So what to say? Again, if Srila Prabhupada had not come to this world, what will have become of us? So today, the Prabhupada's glory is being sung all over the world. Just like we have this in the Guru Puja prayer, which we sing every morning. Ebe jasa gusu tribhuvana. Ebe jasa gusu tribhuvana. Your glory is sung all over the world. So today, Prabhupada's Visa Puja Day, Prabhupada is being glorified today all over the three worlds. Today is being glorified. It doesn't matter where you are. All over India, we have in ISKCON India, we have about 300 temples in India, ISKCON temples in India. So every single temple, Prabhupada is being glorified. And then all over India, then all over Asia, then all over Africa, and all over Europe, all over America. Everywhere, China, everywhere. Prabhupada is being glorified today all over the world. So therefore, this is true Jagat Guru. That's the true Jagat Guru. You want to say Jagat Guru? That's Prabhupada. Nowadays in India, many people call themselves Jagat Guru, but they never go outside their village and they call themselves Jagat Guru. Jagat Guru means the spiritual master of the whole world. But this way, they never go outside their town and they call themselves Jagat Guru. I even see some people in Vrindavan, they call themselves Prabhupada. They even gave themselves title Prabhupada. This one, I took some Swami Prabhupada comes at Prabhupada. I say, what do you know the meaning of Prabhupada? So many people, they artificially give themselves this lofty title, Prabhupada or Jagat Guru, but they never go outside their village. Just like Mr. Frog is in his well, and then a friend told him that, oh, I've seen the ocean, I've seen the Atlantic Ocean. And Mr. Frog said that, oh, how big is the ocean? Is it as big as my well? And he started puffing himself up. So is he twice as big, 3 times as big? Ultimately, his stomach got busted. So many people like they call themselves Jaga Guru or Prabhupada. They never go in because they have no understanding, just artificial. But the real Prabhupada, the real Jaga Guru is like Prabhupada. So therefore, you can go anywhere in the world today. You see Prabhupada's name be chanted. His books have been read. Like we were hearing this morning, how about millions and millions and millions of Prabhupada's books have been distributed all over the world. Millions, actually up to maybe 1 billion or more than that. Billion of Prabhupada's book which has been distributed all over the world, not just in English language, in all the languages, many languages. So again, today we can show our being grateful. We can show our grateful to Prabhupada today by one thing, by being very, very Krishna conscious, because this is what Prabhupada has expressed in this song, prayer which I read. By being Krishna conscious ourselves, and also by spread the teaching of Prabhupada, this Krishna concept by preach to whoever we meet, whosoever we meet, we should tell them something about Krishna. We should tell them we should not be miser. We should not be miser. We should be, Doya Koro. Jiva Doya means compassionate. We should be compassionate on the Jiva, because we are given this message by Prabhupada, through Prabhupada. And then we should also give others the same message to the humanity. So in this way, we can fulfill the desire of Prabhupada. And Prabhupada will be very, very merciful on us. And he will petition Krishna on our behalf. And of course, we are not directly Prabhupada's disciples, but Prabhupada, as they said, that, usually a grandfather is much more affectionate to the grandchildren than the direct son. Is much more affectionate. So Prabhupada, being our grandfather, is actually much more affectionate to us. He's merciful, can be much more available to us, even more than his direct. It's more than his direct disciple. Okay. So it's a great fortune that we're able to say something about Prabhupada, and today we can have this, and yes, so Prabhupada will continue to shower his grace upon us today. Okay. So I'm going to start here. If anybody wants to say something also, you can please go ahead. Right, it's almost 10 o'clock. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. It's great to share, Prabhu. I will try my best to listen to this katha over and over and over again. And on behalf of every single devotee here and whoever may be listening to this katha, either now or later, we offer our humblest gratitude to you, Prabhuji, for rendering such wonderful, beautiful, sweet pastimes of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. It's so heart-touching, and it's very beautiful to hear both the struggling and the victorious aspects of Srila Prabhupada trying to establish ISKCON. And with that, devotees, if anyone may have something to share in regards to Srila Prabhupada's appearance, one may do that. Govinda Prabhu, please, you may unmute.
All right. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to the wonderful devotees. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu, thank you very much for this wonderful presentation of Srila Prabhupada. Amazing love that he came to give to the whole world. Thank you very much. Prabhu, my question is about Srila Prabhupada's initial meetings with it. Sorry, with his spiritual master. We all know his name was Abe Charan.
Abai.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Abai means
fear,
fearlessness.
yeah. So, did Srila Prabhupada took first and second and third initiation? And if so, I would like to know what was his spiritual name, the spiritual name that was given to him by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj.
Abai Charandas. Abai Charanaravinda. Abai, his name was Abai. And then Abai means fearless. And then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta added Charan. Charan means feet. So Abai Charan means someone who is fearless because of taking shelter of the feet of Krishna, Krishna's lotus feet. So he was given Abai Charanaravinda. Somebody who is fearless because he has taken shelter of Lord Krishna's lotus feet. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So was he first initiate, first, second, and third?
No. Prabhupada was initiated same day, first and second same day. But third is the sannyas. It took sannyas in 1959. It took sannyas in
Okay.
1959. But the first and second initiation was 1932, same day. But 1959 is when he took sannyas. He took sannyas from his godbrother, Bhakti Pragyan Bharati Maharaj. No, Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj.
Oh, so he took the sannyasa initiation not from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati.
So Bhaktisiddhanta left in
What's no more here?
he left in 1937.
Yeah.
The Prabhupada took sannyas 1959, which
Oh,
means
okay.
after 22 years of Bhaktisiddhanta living, then he took sannyas.
Yeah.
He took sannyas from Vishwaru Mahotsav, which is like in September. Vishwaru Mahotsav. It was around mid-September of 1959 when he took sannyas from his godbrother.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Prabhu, thank you for your question, and Shri Prabhu, thank you for the answer. It's amazing what you were talking about, Shri Prabhupada, talking about West Africa. I had never heard about Shri Prabhupada talking about West Africa before until last night, just last night. I heard this being read on the tape, and I was trying to look for the tape to play it, but I'll look for it and share it later, where Shri Prabhupada was emphasizing that he wants the locals to come, and we should not depend on Indians for big donations. And it's just like exactly what you said. And Shri Prabhupada is just too great. And we are fortunate. We are fortunate to be, like you rightly said, we are fortunate to be his grandsons and granddaughters. We only pray on his divine appearance day to day that we never stray away from his lotus feet. And then we try our little best to serve him under all circumstances. That means serving the devotees of ISKCON and also people in general. So if anyone has something to share, please, you may do that before Ishara Prabhu leaves. It's quite late his time. And like I said, Prabhuji, we can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for this Prabhupada Katha. Shrimavara Prabhuji, are you at the temple? You have something to share? Well,
Is he there?
yeah, he's here, but it seems he's busy. Maybe he's on the street distributing. Ishara Prabhu, do you have like concluding words?
I'm driving.
Prabhu, yes.
Yes, I'm driving. Yeah. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Very enlightening discussion about Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada did say that for India and Africa, that if we want to really preach in India and Africa, that we should do Harinam and food distribution. So, by the mercy of our Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Maharaj, so some of us we were fortunate enough to get attracted to the philosophy. But what is certain is that majority are not attracted to philosophy. So we pray that we have that blessing to continue to distribute prasad, in order to make more people get the benefits of Krishna consciousness. So that's just my little contribution. That we hope that we can fulfill Srila Prabhupada's desire in this regard to make Africans benefit from Krishna consciousness through prasadam distribution. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Yes, pretty good service. So you get the Prabhupada's blessing. That's right.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. So with that, we're going to humbly request. Oh no, I was saying, Ishara Prabhu, do you have like a concluding words before we bring this to a final close?
Well, I spoke for more than 1 hour actually.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. So, dear devotees, we're going to humbly request you all to kindly unmute, and we all chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra to express our appreciation to our revered speaker, His Grace Ishara Prabhu, for sharing with us the transcendental qualities and pastimes of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, on His divine appearance day today. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Mancha kalpa
Panchakarpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
I'm good, and you? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada's divine appearance, ki jai.
Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
His speaker, His Grace Ishara Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
The Samad Vaishnava devotees ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai.